The global music world is united in mourning and celebration following the passing of legendary singer, songwriter, pianist, and pop craftsman Neil Sedaka at the age of 86, an artist whose extraordinary career not only produced some of the most memorable melodies in modern music history, but also helped define what popular songwriting would become for generations to follow, marking the end of an era that valued musical craftsmanship, emotional sincerity, and melodic storytelling at a time when popular culture itself was undergoing profound transformation. And as tributes continue to pour in from artists, critics, historians, and lifelong fans around the world, many are reflecting not simply on Sedaka's chart success, but on the deeper cultural significance of a musician who represented continuity across changing musical revolutions, bridging the innocence of early rock and roll, the sophistication of classic pop, and the evolving sounds of contemporary music while maintaining a consistent artistic identity rooted in melody and emotional connection. And born in Brooklyn, New York, Sedaka's story began in a modest immigrant household where music quickly became both passion and discipline, as his early piano training revealed remarkable natural ability that earned him admission into the prestigious Juilliard School preparatory program, an experience that shaped his lifelong understanding of harmony, structure, and musical balance, giving him a technical foundation rare among pop performers and allowing him to compose songs that felt effortless to listeners despite their careful construction. And by the late 1950s, as youth culture reshaped entertainment and radio emerged as a dominant cultural force, Sedaka found himself perfectly positioned to capture the emotional heartbeat of a generation searching for identity through music, achieving rapid success with hits like Oh, Carol, Calendar Girl, and Breaking Up Is Hard to Do, songs that combined youthful optimism with universal emotional themes and showcased his distinctive voice, bright melodic phrasing, and ability to turn everyday experiences into timeless musical narratives, quickly transforming him into an international star whose songs cross linguistic and cultural barriers. And unlike many performers of his era who relied heavily on professional songwriting teams, Sedaka's creative partnership with lyricist Howard Greenfield allowed him to shape his artistic vision from composition to performance, forming one of the most successful songwriting collaborations of the 20th century and demonstrating that pop music could achieve both commercial appeal and compositional sophistication simultaneously, influencing not only audiences but also industry standards for artists' involvement in songwriting. And as the musical landscape shifted dramatically during the British invasion of the mid-1960s, many American pop stars faded from relevance. Yet Sedaka's journey became one of resilience and reinvention, as he temporarily stepped away from American charts while continuing to write internationally, refining his musical voice and preparing for a comeback that would later be hailed as one of the most remarkable in pop history, returning triumphantly in the 1970s, with hits such as Laughter in the Rain and Bad Blood, proving that strong melodies and emotional authenticity could outlast shifting trends and reaffirming his place among pop music's most enduring figures. And throughout the following decades, Sedaka maintained an unwavering dedication to live performance, touring extensively and connecting with audiences who viewed his music as a soundtrack to their personal memories. From first loves and heartbreaks to family celebrations and moments of nostalgia, reinforcing the idea that the true power of music lies not in commercial metrics, but in emotional resonance. While fellow musicians frequently praised his humility, professionalism, and generosity, describing him as an artist deeply committed to mentoring younger performers and preserving the tradition of songwriting, a respected craft rather than a disposable commodity. And music historians often highlight Sedaka's influence on the structural evolution of pop music itself, noting how his emphasis on melody, lyrical clarity, and harmonic balance helped establish the blueprint later adopted by countless artists across genres, meaning that even listeners unfamiliar with his name continue to experience his legacy through the songwriting techniques he helped popularize. And as technology transformed the music industry from vinyl records and AM radio to digital streaming and algorithm-driven discovery, Sedaka remained a symbol of artistic continuity, frequently reminding audiences that while production styles change, the emotional core of a great song remains timeless, a philosophy that allowed his work to maintain relevance decades after its original release. And in later years, his performances became celebrations not only of nostalgia but of endurance, showing how music can evolve alongside both artist and audience, creating a shared emotional history that deepens over time. And following news of his passing, tributes from across generations highlighted how Sedaka's music provided comfort, joy, and emotional expression during moments of personal and societal change, reinforcing his reputation as a storyteller whose melodies transcended age, culture, and geography. While critics emphasized that his career represents one of the clearest examples of longevity achieved through authenticity rather than reinvention driven solely by commercial pressure, and beyond awards, chart positions, and industry recognition, Sedaka's greatest achievement may lie in the universality of his songs, which continue to resonate because they speak to fundamental human emotions: love, hope, loss, and resilience that remain constant despite changing times. And as fans revisit his recordings and younger listeners discover his music through digital platforms, his legacy grows rather than fades, illustrating how truly timeless art expands its audience long after its creator is gone. And in reflecting upon his life, many observers see Sedaka not only as a successful entertainer, but as a guardian of melody itself, someone who preserved the emotional simplicity and musical elegance that defined pop music's golden age while guiding it into modern relevance, ensuring that future generations will continue learning from his example of dedication, creativity, and sincerity. And ultimately, the passing of Neil Sedaka marks more than the loss of a beloved musician. It represents the closing of a chapter in cultural history defined by craftsmanship, optimism, and the belief that a beautifully written song can connect strangers across decades, reminding the world that, while artists may leave us, the emotions they capture through music remain alive forever, echoing through radios, playlists, concert halls, and memories, guaranteeing that Neil Sedaka's voice and melodies will continue inspiring audiences and shaping popular music for generations yet to come. The world of music is pausing to remember and celebrate the extraordinary life of legendary singer, songwriter, pianist, and pop music craftsman Neil Sedaka, who has passed away at the age of 86, bringing to a close one of the longest and most influential careers in modern popular music. A journey that not only produced timeless global hits, but also helped define the emotional language and melodic structure of pop songwriting for more than half a century. And as news of his death spread across continents, musicians, cultural commentators, and devoted fans began reflecting on how Sedaka represented a rare combination of technical mastery and heartfelt accessibility, an artist whose work bridged generations and musical revolutions while remaining rooted in the simple yet powerful idea that melody and emotion are true foundations of great music. And born in Brooklyn, New York, into a hard-working immigrant family, Sedaka's early exposure to music revealed exceptional talent that quickly distinguished him from his peers, leading to formal classical piano training and acceptance into the Juilliard School Preparatory Division, where rigorous education instilled discipline, compositional awareness, and an appreciation for musical architecture that would later allow him to craft pop songs with unusual elegance and sophistication. And as American culture entered the late 1950s, a period marked by social change, youth identity formation, and the explosive growth of radio and television entertainment, Sedaka emerged as one of the defining voices of a new musical era, achieving rapid success with hits such as Oh, Carol, Calendar Girl, and Breaking Up Is Hard to Do, songs that combined romantic storytelling with unforgettable hooks and showcased a vocal style that felt both intimate and uplifting, turning him into an international sensation whose music resonated with audiences far beyond the United States. And unlike many performers who depended entirely on external songwriters, Sedaka played a central creative role in shaping his material, collaborating closely with lyricist Howard Greenfield in a partnership widely regarded as one of the most successful songwriting alliances in 20th century pop music, producing songs characterized by emotional clarity, melodic precision, and universal relatability that influenced countless artists and helped elevate the role of singer-songwriters within the industry. And as musical tastes shifted dramatically during the British invasion of the 1960s, when bands like the Beatles reshaped global pop culture and many American solo artists struggled to adapt, Sedaka faced one of the most challenging periods of his career, experiencing a decline in mainstream visibility, refusing to abandon his craft, instead continuing to write, compose, and perform internationally.